clearly you can see I'm excited by the background here. In this next segment, we're going to head back to the Dandelion Fuzzies Mini Farm for a goat milking demonstration. Now, most of us are used to buying our milk at the grocery store or at your local market. But what does it actually take to milk the cows and milk the goats? Like, what's all involved in that? Well, the owner and operator of Dandelion Fuzzies Mini Farm, Larisa, is joined by a very special helper who's going to show us how they get the milk from the goats every day.
Good morning. Hi guys, this is Larisa from Dandelion Fuzzies Mini Farm, and today I'm very excited to show you how I milk the goats on my farm. They are all very ready. They have been waiting for me anxiously, so let's get right to it. So we are now here inside my milk shed. This is my milk stand right here. This is where I put the goats to milk, and I've got my supplies on the wall behind me. And I'm going to put the camera on the wall, and then you guys will get an up-close view of the udder and how I do milking. So I'm just going to set you guys up over here and bring the goat in. Alright, so now we have our first goat up on the milk stand. And I have my little helper. I have my little helper PJ here. He's my 6-year-old, and he is very good at helping me. And the first thing I'm going to do is wipe my hands off, because you need to have clean hands in order to milk. You don't want to get any dirt that's on your hands into the milk. And the second thing I'm going to do is to clean off her udder. So these are actually baby wipes that I use. And I use one half to clean one teat. And then I use the other side of the wipe to clean the other teat. Then I fold it in half and clean one side of her udder. And fold it in half and clean the other side. And this goat's name is Piper. She is a Nigerian dwarf. And she has had 3 beautiful litters of goats on my farm. She always has had 4 or 5 babies at a time, so she is a huge baby producer, and she always makes very pretty babies. So now the next thing I'm going to do is what's called stripping the teats. So sometimes there's bacteria that's in the teat right here. You don't want that bacteria in your milk, so you take the first couple of squirts and get rid of them. So I just put them on a paper towel and throw them away. Some people save them and give them to their cats or their dogs or whatever. But I just throw it away. Now we're ready to start milking. She's clean, I'm clean, we're ready to go. So the way you milk, I milk into a 4-cup container. And the way you milk, and I'll do my left hand to show you, is you pinch at the top and then you squeeze the rest of the teat. And it sounds simple, but it takes a lot of practice. I have been milking goats now this is my 4th year milking goats, so I have a lot of experience. And it's a lot of, because Nigerian dwarves are so small, so much smaller than full-size goats, it just takes a lot of figuring out where all your fingers go. My 6-year-old is very good at milking goats. And we are just going to milk until we get all the milk out of her udder. I give their udder a little shake, because that is like the baby goat head-butting the udder, and it helps them release any milk that might be left in their udder. And Piper is not one of my highest producing goats. She only gives me maybe 2 or 3 cups at a time, but she has very, very sweet tasting milk. Definitely does not have the sour, goaty flavor that a lot of goat milk does. It's very, very sweet. One of the reasons why I really love the Nigerian dwarves. Their milk has the best flavor. Alright. So now we've gotten all the milk. And I have a jar here And it's got a little bit of milk from a goat that I milked already, and I'm just going to pour it in my jar just for safekeeping until we go in the house and we bring the next goat up. So this time I'm going to leave the camera rolling and you can see how I bring the goat in and out. They pretty much do it all by themselves. I give them a couple Tums. These are just your regular Tums. These have calcium in them, which I bet you didn't know about Tums, and it's really good for their bones for producing milk. And then we lure them off the stand with some peanuts. Come on, Piper. See who's next. I'm going to move the camera up. She is a mini La Mancha, so she is taller than my other goats. Excuse that, I'm going to scoot her over. And you can see she also has a much bigger udder. Kind of right in her face right here. I'm just going to do Tesla this time, see. So she's got much bigger udder, much bigger teats. I apologize, she's kind of right in the camera, but my milk stand is only so long before it hits the wall. And she also makes a lot more milk. So I probably will get like a solid 5 or 6 cups out of her right now. And so she makes a lot more, but the downside is the La Manchas do have a little bit more of a sour tasting milk. Not really sour, it's just a tiny bit tangy. But sometimes it's really nice to have that tanginess when you make cheese. So I like to use her milk to make cheese because then you get that classic goat tanginess. Whereas if I make cheese with my Nigerian dwarves, it doesn't taste like goat milk, it just tastes like mozzarella. I'm going to show you now. See, she has already filled up my little measuring cup that I have. And she has more in her, but I'm going to pour this out into my jar. And we're going to keep milking her. So she made a good solid 6 cups once the foam dies down. And this is with me only doing once a day milking. So you can do goats twice a day, and they will actually produce more, obviously, because you're asking for them to produce more. But I find it much more convenient to only do once a day milking. And this allows me some more flexibility with my family, and they still produce a good amount of milk. This is my last goat that we're going to do for the morning. Right now I'm only milking 3 goats. I have 5 that are in milk, but 2 of them have babies on them still. So they really don't have any milk left over. And we're just kind of letting them have their babies right now. So this is Juno. She is another Nigerian dwarf. And she has very tiny teats. So I actually milk her standing up because I find it easier to reach around. So hopefully you'll still be able to see. You want to help her there? PJ's gonna help. That's what she's going to give me right there. And we're going to put that in the jar. This is Juno. See her pretty blue eyes? All right, Juno. She's eating her grain. This is how we get them to hold still, is they eat the grain. And they're more than happy to be milked when they get to stand up here and eat this yummy grain. This is like a treat, a major treat for them. And it also helps them produce more milk because it's got extra protein in it. All right, and then we're going to put her out because she's all done, and that's the last of my goats. So thank you for joining me today for watching my milking demonstration. Thank you for being at Chomp. I'm glad to be a part of this, and I'm excited to get to share some more videos with you guys, and hope you enjoy your experience.